Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Can learning be enjoyable? My name is Dr. Martina. I'm the co-founder, CEO and developer of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a fulfilled and happy life, then this may be the right channel for you. So can learning be enjoyable? Sometimes we question that, probably, especially if we encounter teenagers who come from traditional school settings and who do not want to do anything anymore, who have become numb. And that's not related to the real nature of a human being. We do know that it's just embedded in our own being that we want to learn, we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to keep, we don't want to keep the status quo. We want to go beyond. We want to see what else is possible. And in order for that to happen, actually, there need to be a few aspects integrated in the entire process. And certainly, one of the key things is that if we are dealing with children as parents or as facilitators, we may encounter children, especially when they are young, who are constantly asking questions, constantly exploring, constantly going, into depth with things. So what does that mean? We need to see that. We need to give that space. So we need to take that on board. We need to answer. We need to try to find out together with them. We need to give them this kind of understanding that we make the time for that. So it's really about creating strong relationships where a child understands that there are questions that come to them that are relevant to them in that specific moment are questions that are taken on board. And I'm not saying, no, I don't have time, or I'm not there with them. I'm present with them. I'm showing them that I'm really interested in what they have to say, in what they want to find out, in what they want to discover. And that's key. So if there is a relationship that is based on the understanding that I see you and I'm doing my things as well. I'm also reading. I'm also interested. I'm also open for the world around me. Then automatically the child, the teenager is leveling up, is seeing that also their mother, their father, their a facilitator is coming along with them and wants them to go beyond, wants them to find out together with them, and it becomes a shared experience. And connected with that is, an aspect that is so extremely relevant for learning to take place, is there are emotions involved. I'm connected with a person who also is interested in what the child wants to find out and vice versa, and feels that this is interesting, feels that they get also feedback by learning something new. If a child learns how to ride a bike and suddenly is able to really ride it without any help, then we would encourage this child, wouldn't we? And if we find our child is starting to swim, then we also would encourage our child. And the same applies to all the different subjects, to all the different disciplines, the different topics, the different interests that our children want to further pursue. If a child goes to a concert, for instance, and sees that there are, wonderful instruments that are played and comes home and says, oh, I would also like to play the violin. I also would like to find out how to play the trumpet. Then I would, as a parent, as a facilitator, encourage this interest to be experienced, and that's the next step. So if it's enjoyable, I want it to become enjoyable, I need to experience it. So I'm connecting it with emotions, I'm connecting it with the understanding, yeah, I see you, and this is a shared experience, with the experience itself, and that experience itself allows for the child to find out and to practice, to find out how that feels within themselves. So another aspect is really the experiencing of the entire learning process. And that takes me to another important aspect. So we talked about emotions, we talked about relationships, we talked about the feedback that we are giving also, by praising, and that also raises the emotional state about learning. And there is also, if I'm doing it with my child and I'm really into it, then learning may not just be flat. I may connect it with, sense of humor. I may make it fun. I may, make jokes out of it, and so forth. And then all of that in together will allow for the child to see that learning is so extremely valuable, and learning is something that's not just related to learning words, new words, or learning a mathematical formula. They see that everything is embedded in real life. So it's a whole picture. They learn the mathematical formula because they understand why this mathematical formula has been created and how it is interrelated. They see the creativity behind it, and that allows for them to connect new learning with former experiences, past experiences, with present experiences, and they may also be then able to project it into the future. And that is just an enjoyable process. And if we do that, then suddenly even a student and a child who has lost their joy for learning in the past because they needed to just, do what the teacher told them to do, and there was not really a real interest in what they were doing, then they will come back again. They will find out, wow, this is interesting. I'm doing it for me, and not only for me, I'm doing it for other people around me as well, and they make progress. So yes, learning is an enjoyable experience. It is, however, connected to showing interest, to a relationship, to connectedness, to learning, that we are role models ourselves as adults. If I want my child to basically read, then my child needs to see me reading. And if I want my child to put away the cell phone, then my child needs to see me putting away the cell phone as well. And we create moments where we talk with one another, where we experience something with one another, and that creates emotions, that it creates the connection with previous experiences, as mentioned before, and it brings in this lightness, this lightness of joyful learning in a situation of life is beautiful, life is interesting, life is full of sense of humor also. And this is what we are doing also at School Beyond Limitations. And we aim for our students to see the joy for learning in any specific moment of their time they spend with us. And if you are interested in School Beyond Limitations, then please reach out to us. You will find the website in the description.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, Reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.